Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Finally, I have missed recording so much. I've been helping my brother move and working again and everything, so it's just been a little tough. Today is going to be probably the first in sort of a new series of a drama overview when I can't make 5 videos about every topic, and I just want to talk about a few of the things happening in the beauty community, or with all the drama going on. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, a few specific things today. And before I get into that, I am going to tell you guys there is going to be another giveaway. I'm going to get into that. Before I get into that, I wanted to just show you some of the new stuff that I'm going to be using today, which is why I have no foundation on yet. I was just complaining about Rite Aid's Plenty Point system, and I had $10. So I ended up trying out this Revlon Candid. I ended up purchasing this. The shade 120 was as close as I could get to my skin tone. I'm not sure if it'll be a little too light, a little too yellow. I mean, it looks pretty good. And I went ahead and got the Candid concealer as well. I did grab a few, but I think I'm only going to need one of the new Rebel Rose collection from Wet n Wild. I got one of these brushes here. I got a couple, but I got 2 of these because I figured these ones I would use the most out of. And I'm gonna try the new Tattoo Studio eyeliner from Maybelline, and I'm going to try out, this is the Bed of Roses little palette for the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose collection, and I think I'm gonna go into these 2 shades here. And I'm using my Kangaroo sponge, my little mini Real Technique sponge, the Butter Bronzer, the Milani highly rated mascara. I already tight-lined with Maybelline Skinny Precise. I'll go into my favorite highlighter from Gerard Cosmetics, the shade Grace here. So everything else is pretty much the same aside from the foundation and the palette and the liner, which I saw a commercial for this liner from the Maybelline, the Tattoo Studio one, and I was taken aback. I'm so excited to try it. It looks like it's easy to apply on the top, lash line, and the bottom, so we'll see what happens. Once I start to apply the eyeliner, things are gonna get messy. So I'm gonna go in with the foundation. I'm gonna tell you guys about this giveaway, and then I'll get into the drama. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about Jeffree Star, the whole Blue Blood and Tarte, Icy Betch thing, a little James Charles, a little Cardi B, that kind of stuff. So if you want to stick around for that, then that would be great. But if you're just here for the giveaway details, let's see. So I really don't make a lot on YouTube. It really isn't my main source of income, and some months are better than others, but I know you're not supposed to say how much that you make. Oh, I put a whole lot right there. How much you make on YouTube, but it was around $140. So I thought to myself, it would be really cool, I thought, to have a giveaway where we make our own palette from Sugar Pill. That's who I picked to begin with, because I know a lot of people like Sugar Pill, and we could create our own palette, vote on colors. There would be 3 winners that would get this palette, sort of a thank you and a unique to us, we all came up with this palette idea. Then I thought, if that was a little too complicated, then maybe we could do where I pick winners, and then those winners can create their own palettes, which I will pay for. So they could have the colors that they want. So it's up in the air. I'm going to use last month's YouTube money and this month. YouTube money is deposited on the 21st of the month. So we have some time. I just don't want it to get like too complicated, but I want it to also be fun and something, you know, like unique for us. I don't know. There may be like influencers that have done this before. I don't know, but I thought it would be really fun. You know, if there is a brand aside from Sugar Pill that you guys want to do, to create a palette with, we could do that. I just think like Sugar Pill, the quality is good and I think the pricing is good. So I thought, you know, if you guys are cool with Sugar Pill, we could do that, and then we could like vote on colors to put into that palette. I think, don't they do like an 18 or 20 pan palette? The largest one anyway. And then there would be 3 winners. And if you guys have any suggestions on like how to pick the winners for the giveaway, because the last time I did There's Something Different About Me in this video, and I liked that. And I know that there's like different like programs you can use to have like random winners, but they usually require that you are following me on all social media. And you know, with my giveaways, you don't have to be following me even on YouTube. So, because I just want to do something cool for you guys, and I don't care about getting, like the subscribers, like subscribe to me here and here and here. No. So leave me your comments, like if you think that we should just do 1 set palette, 3 winners, we all vote on the colors, or if we should do like individual winners that can create their own palettes. What do you guys think? Let me know. Like I said, I don't want it to end up being like too complicated, you know, but I also want it to be fun. So it would be cool if, you know, we could all sort of come up with an idea of like a palette together. And if we do it that way, I could like do a live and we can like go through the website, or you guys can take screenshots of what you think like the palette should look like and we can vote on those. There are a lot of possibilities, so let me know what you guys think about that. Like I said, I don't get the rest of the money, well, this month's money until the 21st, and I want to combine those payments so that we can do it like at least 3 winners, you know. I'm not liking this. I think that this foundation would have applied better with my fingers, to be honest. And it is just medium coverage, but I love how it feels. It's like really, really light. So, okay, we're getting into the drama, but like I said, I'm going to start a thread on Twitter, you know, for ideas, and you guys can leave comments here, and we'll see like what the majority, you know, wants to do as far as the giveaway goes. And I think it's going to be really fun. So I'm going to start out, I think, with Jeffree Star, because there's been a lot going on with Jeffree. I'll probably start here with the Tarte Icy Betch palette and the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. Now, a year ago, on April Fool's Day, Tarte released this palette, calling it the Icy Betch palette. And all of these, you know, Tarte fans, makeup fans, were excited for this blue-themed palette. They were like, wow, this is going to be, like, awesome. It's very different, you know. Turned out to be an April Fool's joke, that they weren't actually going to release that palette. But during that time, they got like such a good response for this palette, and even Jeffree Star himself had commented on the IG photo saying, oh, when your fake palette is way better than your last like 5 releases. So he did see this, you know, and oh, thank goodness. I was afraid this was going to be like a squeeze tube, but it does have an applicator, because sometimes I use like way too much concealer. I try not to, but, you know. So anyway, so he had seen this post. Everybody was, you know, talking about this Icy Betch palette as far as, like, at least January of, like, this year. I mean, people were really like, I did not forget about that Icy Betch palette. That would have been awesome, you know? So, just as much as everybody's saying that they copied Jeffree Star, they very well could have been this whole time because they got such a good review, like good feedback from it, been creating this palette for the last year and switching it around, doing whatever, and really wanting to come out with it because they had like such a huge response that was very great to this palette. And Jeffree saw the palette. He very may well have taken inspiration from how many people were like living for that Tarte palette and decided that he was going to do that, you know, like a blue themed palette, which would be a good business move because people would buy it because people were like really into this blue. And I think that, you know, I mean, there's other brands that have done blue themed palettes. Some, I mean, not quite as mainstream and not quite as popular, but just as it does seem that Tarte, like the timing was kind of bad. They should have released it on the 1st. That way it would have completed the whole joke of the April Fool's joke last year. But I don't know that they just like saw Blue Blood and hurried up and threw this palette together. They also changed it, which was ridiculous because it went from 12 colors to 10 colors. I have that huge highlighter in there. They should have done it exactly how the joke palette was supposed to look. And I mean, in defense of Tarte, they probably didn't want to have the competition with Jeffree Star. But I don't necessarily think that either one of them copied each other. But I mean, it could have just been some inspiration there, you know, especially like I said, because there is such good feedback doing a blue palette. I don't think I'm going to set my whole face because this feels pretty good. It's supposed to be like a natural finish. I'm not super thrilled with the coverage, but it feels good. Like I could see myself using this foundation as like an everyday like sort of foundation. I'm going to place some powder under my eyes for this shadow because I don't know what they are going to be like. So you guys let me know what you think about the Jeffree Star and Tarte thing. I mean, I'm not trying to defend either one of them, really. It's just like, it's makeup. And, you know, then there's all this stuff about Laura Lee doing like this blue look and how dare she, and is she going to be doing like a blue palette and things like that. And I'm just like, you know, I don't know anybody that is, oh, this brush is soft and it's awkward to hold. It is shaped like a rose. I'm going in with Creme Brulee first from Wet n Wild. You kind of have to, yeah, like these little, the little like leaves and things like this. I mean, it does kind of get in the way. They should have had more of the brush exposed, I think. It is really soft. It's not like it doesn't work. It's just like a little awkward. And it's very thin to hold on to. It feels like you don't get like a good grip. So anyway, so people are like, oh, you know, Laura Lee, she's going to be copying and all this stuff. And I say, you know what? It's makeup. If you like Laura Lee, buy her stuff. If you like Jeffree, buy his stuff, you know. I get it. Like, if I were excited for that Tarte palette, I would be very disappointed. I would be suspicious of the timing. But especially since they changed it and made it look like shit, I would be upset too if I had been excited for that palette. I think I'm going to go in with a small brush, maybe something like this to sort of create like a outer corner with this dark shade here. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not like that deep for me because, you know, it is, like I said, it's just makeup. It should be fun. And, you know, you can support whomever you want. And it's odd for me because this was the very first palette from Jeffree Star that I was not sitting at my computer waiting for the release time and getting the palette, like ordering the palette and being done in like 2 minutes. It was the first time of any of his palette launches that I didn't purchase one. And it wasn't necessarily because like it's him or anything like that. It's pretty much just like, I'm not sure how much use I would get out of it, even though I think that the palette looks really stunning. And I also thought about maybe doing a Blue Blood palette as a giveaway, because I mean, although his products are more affordable than some other brands, it's still a lot for a makeup palette. And if you have kids, or, you know, you're living paycheck to paycheck, or, you know, you just don't have the money to treat yourself to something like that, I think it would be nice to do a giveaway with that. If you guys are interested in that, maybe that could be like the May or something giveaway. We will see. But anyway, so I'm not really like pissed at Tarte. And, you know, just like I said, Jeffree did comment on that post, so he did see how everyone was reacting to this blue kind of palette. So, you know, whatever. Now, also with Jeffree, you guys know that he had $2.5 million worth of his makeup stolen from one of his warehouses. And I was surprised to see the response. People were basically like, oh, well, you know, you could tell who didn't watch the videos or actually like read about it, because they were like, who even has $2.5 million worth of makeup? Like, that's fucking crazy, and who cares, and he's rich and he can buy more. Not realizing that this was not like his personal collection, you know, along with like lipsticks and things. There was also his brand new concealer that he hadn't even released to us for us to see, that people were getting their hands on. And there's one thing that I think is true about Jeffree Star, is that he's always been into makeup and he is passionate about it, and I think he is creative. And I think his products are pretty damn good. So I could imagine, you know, him creating this, and he seems to be very hands-on with things, unlike people that just slap their name on like a Morphe palette, you know, and it being so violating, you know what I mean? But like, people were like dragging him. Either they didn't know the full story, or like they were just like, oh, it's karma because of like his racist past. But I feel like regardless of how you feel about him, that is such an invasion and it's very violating, and I felt really bad for him about that. And then Nikita Dragon has to come in and say there is a picture of somebody that had this big Easter egg and was like, oh, I got my Nikita Dragon, you know, egg. And she had commented, I'm contacting my lawyer. Where did you get that before it's like released, you know? And you know, it was a dig at Jeffree. And my favorite response to her came from Dustin Daly, you know, talking about her just like being shady, and that she doesn't even have $2.5 million worth of product to have somebody steal. And her response was very like, just condescending, you know, like maybe you would know stuff if you had a business, or, you know, whatever, sweetie. I hate when people like comment back to you and they say something like they're, you know, they're not really being friendly, but they're trying to just act like, you know, condescending, patronizing towards you, and they end it with sweetie or honey, you know. Ugh. I am not a Nikita Dragon fan. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think her being this trans woman, she could be so inspiring, but I feel like she's kind of just an asshole. I find her to be immature. I'm just not a fan. And, you know, she had tweeted like, oh, I don't have the luxury of being able to concern myself with anyone else but myself. Like, girl, you throw so much shade. You are in people's business. And like Nick Snyder said, because, you know, people have been talking shit on drama channels like Nikita, is you should be worried when they're not talking about you. And I absolutely agree with that, because like he said, even Jeffree Star has admitted to wanting to stir up some drama for like releases and things. So the whole thing just broke. The whole tip just fell off. Wait a minute. Let me grab it so I can show you guys. So you saw I barely touched my eye with it. And here is the whole tip of the tattoo liner, which you can sharpen, but I don't have a sharpener here with me. But that's not a good sign. Just saying. Hopefully I have another liner. I'll go with the chunky L'Oreal. So that's a red flag for me right there as far as that eyeliner goes. That's disappointing. I'll have to let you guys know how it sharpens, you know, or like use it in another video. But I'm not too fond of eyeliners that break as soon as you touch your waterline. I didn't even get a chance to like move it really. It was just like, oh, skin, I'm gonna fall apart. I'll keep you updated on that on that eyeliner. So anyway, so I mean, like with Nikita, I don't know. It's just, I feel like she's kind of a jerk. I don't really like her. I'm very sorry. I just don't. The last person that I'd like to talk about is Cardi B. Now, I'm not a fan of Cardi B's music, but I mean, now you guys know I'm a death metal fan. Spawn of Possession, Surruption, Whitechapel, Behemoth, Cow Decapitation. I also really enjoy Bjork, Depeche Mode, The Cars, The Cure, and I can appreciate like good rap music, or like good, you know, pop kind of music, but I find Cardi B's music to be absolutely just so annoying, so ridiculous. Lyrically, it is so bad. It's like just taking a bunch of random things. Her lyrics are like The Big Bang Theory, where like they just say a bunch of like nerdy things and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. And her lyrics are just so basic, like I just don't understand it. Anyway, so I'm not a fan of her music, but I really didn't like care about her that much to have an opinion really on her, like personally. But it came out that she actually admitted to robbing and drugging men to get money to afford like studio time because she had to make it, you know. And that's fucking disgusting. It's sad. It's criminal. And this is a woman that can't stop talking about how she was a stripper. And this is a woman that you know was so desperate for like her coin and fame that she would literally freaking steal from people. And that's disturbing. And what's even more disturbing is that nobody seems to care. If this were a man that came out and said this, that Grammy would have been taken away. Like Twitter, it would have been a shitstorm. And I find it just pretty despicable that nobody's really saying much about this, you know? And I don't find her to be like ultra creative or anything like that. But, you know, that's just me. And I appreciate like a strong, like bad bitch, like an independent woman, but maybe a woman that did this on her own instead of drugging and robbing men. And a woman that actually stands for something. Like she is like, you know, her stands are pretty crazy. Like they're like, oh, Cardi's my queen. Even after all of this, even after this came out, and it wasn't like it was a rumor. I mean, she even addressed it, but it was like the worst, most half-assed apology ever. It was just like, I was a stripper and I had to do what I had to do and blah, 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 you know, and not apologizing for her criminal behavior. Like, why doesn't anybody give a shit about this? I don't understand. Oh, I'm going in with Wet n Wild Rebel Rose. I do like these shadows. The shimmer really isn't coming up that great on camera. But I really do like it. Sorry, my hair's all crazy. I've been like so tired lately. Anyway, so I'm going to set with the Slay All Day from Gerard Cosmetics. Why aren't more people upset about this? I don't know. And like I said, I respect and support strong, independent women, but like having to steal, having to cheat your way into a position and acting like you're some real bitch. That's what she always says, like she's a real ass bitch and all this stuff. But what does that mean? What do you stand for? What kind of empowering message are you giving people? Like nothing, you know? And I just find it disgusting that more people aren't upset about this. Like I said, if it were a man, it would have been a whole different story. So, this is the look, and those are my personal opinions. Like I said, you know, I mean, we don't have to agree on everything. This is just how I feel about those certain topics. I will be doing a few slaying shades next week. I am going to post a video over on my That Fat Vegan channel. If you're fat like me, if you have addiction problems, depression, and anxiety, I have a second channel. I will link that below. And I get a little more personal over there. And definitely let me know what you guys think about these topics and about the giveaway stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love and hugs. Bye.